So much of opening a restaurant is have real conviction, because it's not easy, but you've got to enjoy it, you've got to want to do it, and it's got to be part of your life. The inspiration behind Dean's is my homeland, the UK. British food at its heart is like really humble household cooking. It's obviously really seasonally led, it's pretty simple and pared back, which is the kind of style of food that we like to cook. If you order one more oysters, I think the joy of a pub is that it's sort of available to everyone at any given moment, right? The menu also is trying to reflect that. The ideal night is whatever you want it to be. There are no rules in a pub, you know. It's 4 o'clock and we're now open at Dean's here in New York City.
We're loading in today. Kitchen's being finished. We will be ready to open in 2.5 weeks.
You say that very confidently. So Dean's is our third restaurant, and I'm not quite sure it gets any easier. Annie and I are co-owners here at King, next door to Dean's, and so we've spent a lot of time on this block on King Street and like 6th Avenue, so it's always been home for us, and we wanted to kind of bring something a little bit more casual to the neighborhood. We just sort of thought that New York City needed a little bit of the UK here in Soho. We've had our eye on this space since we landed at King. It's gone through various iterations.
But what I was going to say is like no one has ever really put the love into the space that it needs for it to fully function as a restaurant space. It was like a full gut and plus, like just crazy amounts of work.
All the non-fun stuff.
Yes, like if we're gonna be here for 10 years, 15 years, it just doesn't make sense to put a Band-Aid on a thing that doesn't work and then just live with these issues for the next 10 years, so yeah.
Well, what do they say? Good things come to those who wait. We are prepping some mackerel for the Stargazy Pie. We use both Boston and Spanish mackerel. The Boston, we use the heads and the tails to poke out of the top, and the Spanish mackerel we're going to gently confit and flake through the filling. This is Chef Angelis. Angelis has been with us now for, what's it?
Going into year 9.
Going into year 9. She is actually the queen of King, but I lured her to next door to Dean's to help us with this opening. So we've had some fun with this recipe. A Stargazy Pie is a fish pie. It kind of hails from Cornwall, which is on the southern coast of the UK, and it's a very, very old traditional recipe. We thought that we were going to be opening in the winter, around November time. So originally we thought that we would have a sort of beef and suet pie, but you know, as the sort of like timeline changed, you know, where we are now in the spring, we thought that a fish pie would be a little bit lighter.
So we have our beautiful fillet. We find that the Spanish just confits a little bit better just because the size is bigger, so then we can get nicer bits on the pie itself. So as you can see, the Spanish mackerel is really, really beautiful, really, really fresh and firm.
Chef Angelis. It's been a real pleasure to kind of work with her on an opening, particularly through this lens of British food. You know, she and I have worked together for so long, cooking sort of French and more Italian-inspired food. So it's been a whole different, like, palette for us.
I think for us it's really important that the food feels contextualized, so there was a lot of reading just to understand like how to make it beyond the conception of like, oh, British food is bland, and like showcase how interesting, how delicious, and like, how much sensitivity it can have. So something that I learned from cooking with Jess along the years is we really like to layer flavors. So this we're gonna cook it with some bay leaf, some lemon peel, some garlic and black peppercorn just to add another layer of flavor.
This is not a traditional step in the recipe, and actually the Cornish folk in the UK will probably be in uproar.
So then this will go in the oven, no more than 10-12 minutes on a 200-degree oven, very, very low and slow.
So Fiona is our pastry chef, both here at Dean's and also at King and at Jupiter.
So I started actually as a server at King in 2019. So
yeah, and then we found out that she was a pastry master, and we haven't let her out of the kitchen since. So
that's true.
Our crumpet batter needs a little bit of time to rest over the course of the morning before we finish them off on the Aga. So this has been a real labour of love, these crumpets. They're not particularly easy to kind of make and master. So they're very kind of like traditional English, sort of almost like a griddle cake. They look a little bit like an English muffin, but they're not, because they have really yeasted So they've got a lot of like aeration in them. So this is just a very kind of relatively simple batter, right?
You know, flour and salt in the bowl, milk and water and a bit of butter. Bring that to lukewarm. That's then going to go over our fresh yeast and sugar, and then onto the mixer and basically paddle it pretty vigorously for 5 minutes.
The first recipe that apparently is like in existence predates 1750. It's like wild, you know, and so it's really fun to kind of think about those heritage bakes.
So it's fully mixed. Now we're going to let it ferment for an hour.
Okay.
These are our vertical based scallops. They're these beautiful farm scallops. And we are prepping for our dish of scallops with salsifis and bacon and malt vinegar beurre blanc. So you can see the freshness of the scallop. Sometimes I can get it to bite me. They're very, very fresh. See? Amazing. So we're very, very lucky to be working with this.
I grew up in a really small seaside town in Suffolk called Aldborough. This restaurant is actually named after Dean Fryer. And Dean is a fisherman, and he is one of the few remaining dayboat fishermen on Aldborough Beach. And I've known him for years. He's going to come in September.
So that is the roe. I'm going to clean the skirt and wash them. So the red roe, these are the female scallop. The roe is so exceptionally sweet and delicious, very, very fatty in like a lovely way. I guess to me it reminds me a bit more of lobster. Like it has that sweetness and it firms up like lobster when you cook it. They're really, really special. And then I'm gonna wash this and clean up.
Yeah, this is Fred. He's our kitchen intern. He's doing quite well. Do you think we'd give him a job?
Absolutely.
I had a baby 7 weeks ago. As the delays were happening with construction, I could see it sort of like crashing with my due date. But I'm very fortunate. Annie is an amazing business partner. She has really led the charge in the final weeks. The restaurant was supposed to open in November, and so I thought, okay, that's great. I can open the restaurant. I'll be however many months pregnant and have Fred in February, and then you can't control anything, you know. But he's a restaurant baby. You spend a lot of time working on everything, particularly in a space that hasn't been kind of tended to for sort of 40 years. So everything felt like it was slightly falling down. And then on day one, there was a massive leak in the kitchen. So it's sort of a constant snag list. The Argo arrived without any warning. It was sort of left on the sidewalk. And for me, Annie, Tina and Kate to try and move into the kitchen. But of course, we realized that it weighed a ton, like a literal ton. So we're at the Arga now, and we're so lucky to have it in the kitchen. It's a real, like, the heart of the kitchen in the UK. Always had one growing up, and they're kind of a very fun stove to get to know. You have to get to know your Arga. Not one of them are kind of the same, really. We've been doing the crumpets on there, but we're going to try them on this hotter heat. How's it going for you?
Much better on this side.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
A regular oven has various temperatures. This just has hot and not so hot. There's nothing really in between. They're very kind of temperamental. This one actually didn't work for the past like 10 days basically, and so it's been really fun to kind of like teach the team, play around with it, get to know it, and kind of find ways to use it.
We have a very well buttered cast iron skillet and then buttered ring molds. The crumpet batter just gets ladled into them, and basically what we're looking for at this point is for the batter to pull away from the ring and for the top to be mostly matte, and then we'll remove the rings. And then they just get a very short amount of time on the other side.
Well, I've just been wanting to try it directly on here. It might be a complete disaster, so we'll see. We just thought it'd be fun to have one here in New York City and to kind of really help transport people somewhere. And I think that that's sort of so inherent to like restaurants. I think they should be transportative in some way, like food is. We did like a little test batch there, but we'll probably make about 40 portions, which is about 80 crumpets. Once the crumpets have been made, we actually toast them to order and we warm them on the top of the Arga, and then they go with the dressed crab. That's kind of just been dressed with the light mayonnaise that we make. Some celery hearts, lots of lemon zest, lemon juice, tiny bit of cayenne pepper, and then that goes with a little bit of red sorrel on top. So it's really lovely. It's one of my favorite things. Tina's prepping some more fish that we're going to add to the filling for the Stargazy Pie. So traditionally Stargazy Pie is predominantly the mackerel. We're not in Cornwall in the UK, we're on the East Coast in the USA. So we're trying to be creative in the way that we're thinking and using fish. We use cod and hake for our fish and chips, and if we like it, we might be trying this golden tilefish. We have the trim, and that sort of comes from like the collar of the fish or at the tail end of the fish, which we don't want to use for the fish and chip portion. So we kind of save that and include it in the pie. So this is the base of the filling, and it's just like a very kind of classic bechamel. And then with leeks and potato and carrots.
Some British cider.
Cider,
Thyme.
yeah, pinch of saffron. Like it's a nice sized fish, I think, because it obviously shrinks as it cooks. I think you don't want it to disappear. You don't want to be searching for your fish. This is the confit mackerel. As we're flaking it in, we're taking it off the skin. But actually, I mean, it's so delicious. Once it's been confit, like the flavor is almost set, so it doesn't sort of bleed in and distract from the rest of the filling. And so it's not particularly overpowering. So this is our pastry for the Stargazy Pie, and then we'll egg wash this, and then we'll sit on top of the pie. It's just a bit of fun. It's just a fish pie, you know. Don't be afraid of a fish head. It's like it's having a bath.
So it bakes for 25 minutes, and then it's ready to serve.
People ask like, oh, does it get easier with openings now that you've done a couple? And it's like, nope, it never gets easier because each restaurant is unique and different with its own set of problems and challenges. We are trying to create a really fun place. Like, we want it to feel like a pub. We want it to feel lively and energetic and casual. We have an amazing cocktail program. We have a great wine list. We have great beers. And of course, we have to have Guinness on draft. We actually reached out to Guinness and we said we're opening a pub and we really want to get it right. It's like, help us. And they took us on a little tour around the city of places where they felt like had the best pint of Guinness in New York City. We have the intent to learn and do better and try to pour a really great pint of Guinness and bring something that we're having fun with that we hope guests equally enjoy.
New order, 2 Guinness oysters. So the scallops, we are actually searing them in a pan and deglazing the pan with some Sarson's vinegar, which is sort of an institutional condiment in the UK. And we've made this salsify puree, which we've just made with the salsify, which we've blanched, and then we kind of whiz that with a little bit of butter, and then with some really lovely lardons of like salty bacon. So it's like one of my favorite dishes. I think restaurants are really difficult, they're really challenging, they come from within you. There are so many people who put so much effort into making something, and that's awesome. And I think particularly like nowadays, like to be able to collaborate in that way and to kind of come together creatively, it's a real privilege to be able to do it. Of course, it's always worth it, and you kind of go to this point of thinking it will never come into fruition, and so it has been a real journey. But you know, to be able to open the doors on the first night kind of feels like a real achievement.